Hi guys, nice to be back on this beautiful day, 28th of November 2024, and I can imagine most of you have been experiencing this incredible energy that's seems to be sweeping through right now. Lots of transformation, lots of transition, and lots of energy. And again, it's just about how important it is to bring ourselves into this moment with all these changes that are taking place, and to find ourselves in this space of the now, and finding the peace and the strength within this space of the now. What I really would like to speak about today is the shame and the blame that seems to be so prevalent in the world. How it's so easy to shame and blame others for how we feel, and also to shame and blame ourselves for how we feel. And I think it's really important to give ourselves the compassion that we need, and give others the compassion that we need to give, and to realize that all these stories that are happening are just that, just stories. And to see it as a story, to see things as stories, to take away as best as we can our personal attachment to any outcomes that may or may not happen, and just to let things be, to let things flow, to let ourselves be and to let ourselves flow. How important that is. Not to be blaming ourselves when things don't work out, and not to be shaming ourselves for when things don't work out, not to be blaming others for when things don't work out, not to be shaming others. That's not to absolve ourselves from any responsibility, or to absolve others of their responsibility. Of course, we have responsibility to ourselves, how we are to ourselves, how we perceive ourselves to be, what we perceive ourselves to be, is fully our responsibility. And we can only really be responsible for ourselves and how we respond. The responsibility is the ability to respond. The ability to respond to what we are in any given moment. To be able to respond to what we do in any given situation. And to do our utmost to allow ourselves and give ourselves the grace to allow things, circumstances and situations and ourselves to be dealt with from a perspective of our higher consciousness. as we do that, we see and perceive things in a very different way, and we respond, therefore, in a very different way. There's lots and lots of videos on YouTube these days where people are telling everybody how to do what and what to do when and this, that and the other, and I don't really want to do that. I don't want to be like that, because I don't like to be told what to do and how to do it. I don't need to be told what to do and how to do it. I am my own conscious being that perceives in the way that I perceive, and I trust in the way that I perceive. And I have compassion for myself. I have deep compassion and deep understanding. Do I always act from my highest levels of consciousness? No, not always. Why not? Because I believe in the story. I become attached to an outcome, and I don't give myself the grace to be able to just perceive from a higher place. And it takes practice, it takes dedication, but it's there for us if we want it. It's there for me if I want it. And I can't talk for anybody else, but I can talk for myself. I want the highest consciousness that I can possibly have. I want the greatest depths of compassion that I can possibly have. I want to be able to embrace every moment as deeply as I possibly can. Any given moment, any given situation. To be open, to be honest, and to be true. For me, this is the most important thing. How do I go about that? How do I do that? Well, firstly, I have to come from a place of love. A deep sense of love within myself. A deep sense of love and acceptance. And no shame and no blame for myself or others. And with that deep sense of love, I find I have a deep sense of sincerity. And that deep sense of sincerity is like my guide. My guide to help align me with my highest consciousness, my highest sense of being. To not get caught up in dramas and trivial rubbish, but to stay focused on what some people may call the divine, or God, or life force, or Great Spirit. We've given so many names to it, and I don't know what it's called, but I just know it. I know it resides within me, and it resides everywhere around me. There is no breaking. There's no breaking of this creative life force, this God, this Spirit. And it's always there for me to perceive, always there for me to embrace. And I just have to give myself that chance, give myself that possibility. And when I do, whenever I do, I'm always, I don't like the word rewarded particularly, because it's not really like a reward. It's just that I feel like if you put a piece of ice in the sunshine, it will melt. The same as if I put my hard mind or my hard ideas or my hard emotional kind of state into this place of deep love and acceptance, that it dissolves, it melts, it flows again. And that's how I want to be. Not because anybody's told me that that's how I want to be, but because I intuit it as a human being, that that's how I want to be. That's what I've been born to do. That's what my life's real purpose is. So, again, I think it's all about giving ourselves a chance, putting ourselves in a place, in a space where we can perceive from a deeper perspective, from a deeper love, from a deeper acceptance. And when we do, we find ourselves naturally letting go. We find ourselves naturally growing into that space. We find ourselves full rather than feeling empty and depleted. We feel ourselves full. We feel ourselves joyful. We feel ourselves colourful. I feel myself rich in that experience. And I think it's important for us all, as I don't really see myself as any different from any other human being on this planet. And I think in my default state, it's what I want so deeply. So I kind of imagine that if you're here now watching this video, it's what you want too. It's what you in your heart are calling for. And I just want to really say that you have that feeling inside of you because it's a natural state. It's a natural thing to aspire towards. And this world is so full of so many distractions. However, none of them will fill you with what you really want, as I find nothing really fills me with what I really want from this world. It's always coming from within me. And I want to share this with you. I want to share this understanding. That's really why I'm making these videos, apart from also it's sometimes nice to look back at them myself. However, I'm really here to share this experience as best as I can, articulate something that is actually impossible to articulate with you all. So, it's quite a long video, and I really hope, I really trust that you find your peace. I really hope and I really trust that you find your joy and your love and your sense of being, your sense of connection to your highest self. And with that, I'd like to invite you, if you want, to subscribe to the channel and maybe hit the like button and leave a comment below. It's always nice to read your comments. And yeah, with that, I'd like to say thank you. Thank you for listening. Thank you for being here and being a part of this journey. And I really appreciate that. So, as always, from my heart to your heart, take care. I send you love, light, and I wish you only the best. Until the next time,